Hello, my name is Olga. I'm a product manager and also I'm a mentor. And in today's video, I want to discuss with you how to write a good CV, how to impress by a CV recruiters, hiring managers, and how to pass ATS. We'll discuss the most common mistakes and we'll discuss the structure and I will give you some tips how to write a good CV. I hope it will be useful for you. So talking about structure, CV should be on one page. Basically, there is a rule. 10 years of relevant experience is one page of your CV, which means, okay, if you have 30 years of relevant experience, your CV can be bigger. But if you have 10 years of not relevant experience and 3 years of relevant experience, please try to keep all your experience in one page. Why it's important? Normally, recruiters spend 5 to 15 seconds to make decision about your CV. It means that they don't have time for scrolling your CV and looking for treasures in your 3 pages. No, they take a look and make decision. That's why your CV is an extract. This is an extract of your working life. All your professional life should be presented in one page. This is a talent, this is an art, and you need to try to do it. It's not easy for sure. So let's talk about important bullets that should contain your CV. First, your name, of course. Second, and this is very often mistake, I don't know why. People don't mention what kind of position they're looking for. Are they looking for product manager, program manager, analyst, QA lead? We don't know if you don't mention it on your CV. Especially this is important for job switchers. Of course, if your CV contains like all product manager positions during 10 years, yeah, probably it's a high probability that you're looking for product manager role. But I saw CV of designer with 5 years of experience and last experience was 1 year as a QA engineer. And this job switcher wanted to switch back to designer field and they didn't mention it in their CV. How do you think how many rejects they got before they changed their CV? Many. Also, contacts are important. Location. Everybody forget about this, but normally if you apply for a job, let's say I live in Dublin and I'm applying for Irish jobs, but recruiter from Dublin gets applications from all around the world and they interested in applicants from the local country. They interested in people who already here, even if they already provide visa. Probably they give a preference to candidates who's already in this country. And if you think that it's obvious that you're here, I'm applying in Dublin, obviously that I am here, it is not. And the same about contacts. Of course, you need to leave contacts to provide the opportunity to communicate with you, to talk back. So it's phone number, email, of course, and also LinkedIn profile. Link on LinkedIn. Why it's important? Very often, recruiters and also hiring managers, they check your LinkedIn profile. They check what do you post, what do you comment, which is your tone of voice, what is your thoughts. They want to understand what kind of person you are, and this is your chance to. And this is the different topic why it's important to keep LinkedIn updated if you're a job seeker. Easy point, but don't forget reverse chronological order. I I saw CVs with education on the first place. This is not a big mistake, but this is a problem. Especially, I'm not talking about entry-level specialists. Of course, if you just graduated, put your education as a first row. This is very important part of your professional journey. But if you have 10 years of experience as a hiring manager, as a recruiter, I'm interested more about your experience, not about your education, even if you're a Harvard alumni. And I will tell you more. If the fact that you're a Harvard alumni is the most impressive part of your CV after 10 years of experience, we have problems, guys. So put everything in reverse order. The first bullet in your CV is the last your job. We will talk in details about summary or professional profile, but the fact that you need to understand now that it should be included in your CV. This is very important. This is your way to attract attention. And talking about format, how we describing work. This is kind of obvious point as well, but I will mention because a lot of people do mistakes exactly here. So we need to mention name of the company, name of the position, periods when did you work, and location. It's more optional, honestly, but it's better to show to make a clearance to recruiter. An important bullet is describe the company that you worked. Of course, if you worked in Google, in Microsoft, in Meta, it's not necessary. But if your company is not so well known, it's better to put good description. So let's talk about professional profile because it's the most trickiest moment in each CV. If CV is an extract of your professional life, professional profile is extract of extract. It should be the most important information included in first paragraph of your CV. Can you imagine how important it is? Because like this is the first thing that anybody who read your CV is the first and maybe the last thing that person reads. So that's why you need to put information, the most relevant information, maybe the most relevant information for this position if you're changing your CV for applying for each position. So you need to put, of course, years of experience, information about domains, maybe about technologies, especially now if you have experience in machine learning or AI, put it there. If you lead, it's good to put how many people's reported to you directly. If you're a manager, it's good to talk with how many stakeholders you have a deal. Maybe some uh, quantitative things, such as for example, in my CV, you can find that I conducted more than 300 A/B tests and more than 150 customer interview, and it shows that I'm quite experienced. I'm not just telling that I'm seasoned product manager. I'm telling you that I have real experience, and this is not a place for beautiful and generic words. No, it's not about I'm communicative, I'm a good leader. No, you need to put exactly very important, very clear facts why you're a cool professional. Call about your superpowers, but put it in facts. You know, like if you're a software engineer, put some technologies, the most important technologies, not all technologies that you worked with. And yes, so you need to by this paragraph, you need to attract recruiters and product and hiring managers to hire you, to invite you for the interview. So you need to put some information. If you have a talent in this paragraph to put not only important information but also a story, nice. For example, I'm a product manager with 3 years of experience, combined with 10 years of experience in sociology. So like you can mark that you have previous, not very relevant, but significant experience. And why not? You need to put this information because any experience that you had before, if you're a job switcher, can be valuable. Even if you're a waitress, especially if you're applying for positions with the same domain. For example, you have 10 years of experience as a waitress, now you're a QA engineer, and you're applying for the application that helps restaurant. This is cool. You know about domain a lot. You're a good candidate. So do not include company description is one of the most common mistakes. Don't make this mistake. So you know why we're doing this, to put recruiter to the context and hiring manager. Sometimes, of course, they can go to Google and check what is your no-name company does. But as a good candidate, save their time. Provide they the most important information about scale, like what's the size of the company. It can how do you measure the size? You can measure it in terms of clients, especially if it's B2B, in terms of customers, daily active users, or monthly active users. If you know this number, you can add information about revenue, especially if it's public information. Of course, don't put NDA information, but if it's public, be welcome. Why it can be important, like for example, if you change in the country and in your country this big public company and with huge revenue, and they public the information about revenue, but in different country they don't know this your big company, and they don't understand what size of the company, so you need to put here information. You can put information about APO, for example, Nasdaq index, and recruiters usually understand what this means. So you don't need to put a lot of information. Just put Nasdaq index. That's all. Who understand? They understand. Yes, you also can mention on which markets which company this company works, like Europe, USA. You can mention that it's international company represented in 35 countries, for example. So it can help a recruiter to understand the the portrait of the company, which is very important because it's a big difference between working as a product manager in small company, medium company, and huge company, for example. And let's talk about the most important part of every CV is bullet points. First thing, which is not obvious for everybody, that's why I'm telling this. Um, it shouldn't be your responsibilities, it should be your achievements. Doesn't matter what kind of position you're applying for, is it analyst, software engineer, product manager, especially for manager. It should be your achievements. Nobody interested in your daily day-to-day work. Everybody interested what value did you bring to company. And of course, we need to understand, if you're a software engineer, your achievements should be technically oriented, less business oriented. If you're a product manager, it should be more business oriented. And of course, as a product manager, I'm talking on metrics language. If in my bullet points describing my work, my achievements in last company, you don't see any metric that I improved. What kind of product manager I am? Do you trust that kind of product manager? I don't. So that's why we have very generic formula. Disclaimer here that it shouldn't be exactly precisely according to this formula all bullet points, but the good standard, if it's like about 70% of your bullet points going according to this formula. So increase metric X, doing Y by using technology Z. I put on the screen a good example of achievements of bullet points for product manager. Here we can see which metric we increased. We can see what exactly we did. We made it understandable. And also we put here keywords, which is important for the whole CV, and in general, it's highlighting which product manager skills do we have. So you can see on the slide two bullet points, but both of them are from my CVs, but first one from my old version of CV and second one of my current version. And I was trying to write about the same action that I did as a product manager, but as you can see in the second version, it's clear which metric I increased, which product manager techniques did I use, what exactly I did as a product manager here, and I made it clear. If I don't put in my CV that I know how to how to conduct product discovery, product interview, UX test, nobody will understand. If I don't put in my CV how many A/B tests I conducted, nobody will know. So this is my responsibility to make it clear. And this is very difficult to write good bullet points from first attempt. The thing that I can recommend you here is to write down all achievements first, all achievements that you can remember, prioritize them. The most important achievements should be in the beginning, and after you can challenge each bullet point. Like try to formulate it in this formula. Try to understand this achievement, what it brought to the company, which metric did you increase, if you can say here. It can be technical, reducing technical debt. It can be um, increasing time to market for the team. This is okay. It shouldn't be exactly business metrics, especially if you're a technical specialist. Reduced latency, this is cool, this is very understandable, this is very important. This is something that I'm looking for in technical specialists, right? In software engineers. So the thing that I want to see here is strong bullet points. So you need to challenge each bullet point, and it's better to do with mentor, with friend, with someone else who can ask you questions, and you can improve each bullet point, and after it's a circle. So you improved your CV, read it again, ask help, ask the feedback, and improve it again. And the thing that I expect each manager to put as a first bullet point: describe the size of the team that you worked. This is very important because I don't understand if it's a product manager who worked with team of 3 people, or 4 teams of 30 people. I don't know. And this is very important because one thing is to be a project manager of the small team, for example, and another thing to be a project manager of the big team and do deliver management for the big complex system. And the same for product manager. You in charge of one backlog or 7 backlogs. It's a huge difference. And you need to put this difference as a first bullet point of your CV. You can mention how many stakeholders you had, um, what kind of teams do you have, what kind of specialities. You can mention if it's cross functional teams, um, how many people, and this kind of clarification information for understanding the scale of your job. So this is something that I advise to put to all managers that come to me. But if you're a designer or analyst or um, software engineer, especially if you lead, sometimes this kind of information is important as well, because it's important to show like this is your communication skills, guys, not just the word in my strength or I have a good communication skills. No, that's exactly your communication skills. I had 150 stakeholders, I have a good communication skills, not just because I said it, right? And let's talk about our pressure issue: keywords. Everybody are very concerned about ATS, and sometimes people trying to put only keywords in their CV, ignoring the fact that CV should be written for people first of all. Of course, we need to have important keywords to pass this stage. So how it's going? We have first stage ATS, second recruiter, the third stage hiring manager. Your CV should be good and appropriate for all 3 stages. What does it mean in terms of ATS? ATS is applicant tracking system. So, and I need to mention here that there are plenty of them and they work differently. They have different algorithms. That's why you can't crack by one CV all ATS. No, you can't, unfortunately. Or fortunately, who knows. So the thing is that the strategy to put random keywords to your CV as much as possible is not a good strategy, because in the second step with recruiter, probably your CV will fail. But how to pass the first stage with ATS and do not cheat with your CV? And here's the advice that I would like to give you. Uh, Try to find 15 jobs which is very relevant for you and that you dream to have, that you dream to apply, and that you dream to be hired, and check the requirements. First 3 or 5, the most important requirements, usually first 3. Put everything together on the list. Mark repeatable requirements, and this is exactly things. That's exactly keywords that you should have in your CV. That's exactly what companies are looking for. If you don't have many of them, you need to think how you can get it, how you can get this experience, some education, some knowledge. But if you have, the only thing that you need is just put it to your CV and you will pass ATS. And which is even more important, you will pass the recruiter and hiring manager stage because your task is basically just to show that you have the experience that they are looking for, which is great. So I hope this video was useful. Tell me in comments what do you think about this. Did you take something with you today? And tell me what do you like to hear next. We can talk about particular examples of bad and good examples before and after. In my case, in case of my mentees, and don't hesitate to reach me out in LinkedIn. So likes, comments, share with your friends if it was useful, and see you next time. Bye bye.